I want to circle back into the Chet stuff.
Yes.
One of the biggest things for me, and because you talked about the fatigue and the overtime, but even before that, in the fourth quarter, he had 0 shot attempts. And in this game, overall, he had 7 shot attempts, I think, and he played the second most minutes behind Shai. And you see when you look at the box score, or just even when you watch the game, there were a lot of guys that were just way more aggressive. I know Aaron Wiggins did play a ton, but I remember vividly Aaron Wiggins coming to the game and shooting 3 threes.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, can't nobody make a 3? This is my moment to see if I'm going to be hot, because if I can make these 3 threes or make any threes, this could be a game that I can play in. And I appreciated that mindset. Jared McCain, I think, came in and had maybe 5 or 6 shot attempts in almost half the minutes of Chet. I don't even think Jared McCain played 20 minutes,
18, yeah.
but shot 6 shots. There were so many guys who just shot the basketball. And it ain't like Chet was being guarded by Wemby himself. So I just can't get behind the mentality to see your MVP player in Shai have the struggles, to see them literally at times double team him, full court press him, trap him, do anything to get the ball out of his hands, and you just sit there in the corner. I mean, J-Dub didn't have the greatest game, but he had, 26 points on like 25 shots. It was an aggression of a mentality that Chet just lacked in such a big moment, and I was truly disappointed in him. And I think some of these guys that do this whole sway thing, I'm kind of just like off of it. I'm not a fan of guys. Like, I'd rather you fail and just shoot horrendously than to watch you take 7 shots.
Yeah.
And I think some of these teams have to start having the same mentality as well. How much money does Chet make? Is he approaching the $40 million?
Yeah,
Like
his
mid-30s?
contract starts next season.
Yeah, he's paid too much. Like, you got to start putting some things in these contracts where, like, bro, if you make $40 million, you can't shoot below 10 shots. You got to force 10 field goal attempts unless you're hurt.
Or get to the foul line or
Something. Yeah, 2 free throws this whole game. You're just out there.
Yeah, and it was also the play. It might have been, the overtime and double overtime are mushed together in my brain, where he got an offensive rebound, and instead of just going up super strong, one of the guards came up behind him and blocked his shot.
Blocked the shot.
I'm just like, bro, I think they're down by 3 at
Who
that
was
point.
that block? Was that?
Let's see which one of the guards got a block.
That was like because they showed the replay on that.
Vassell had 2 blocks, so maybe it was Vassell.
You know, that one block was major.
Yes,
The chase down.
Yeah. But I don't know. And also, like, one of the worst things that happened in Chet yesterday is, they got the camera on top of the backboard.
Yeah.
So sometimes it cuts to that camera, somebody get a tip dunk or yada, yada. There was one possession where they showed the camera and Chet jumped for the ball and it went straight through his hands. And it was in slow-mo. And I'm watching the replay like, no way. Well, I just watched Wemby get 3 tip dunks this quarter alone. You can't get one of them. You can't get one. So I don't know, man. I think a lot of the conversation probably boils down to, as we go into the next game, whether or not Mark Daigneault, the company, want to try to let Chet guard Wemby one-on-one instead of going with the smalls. I think Chet did a pretty solid job. He got the big block at the end of, one of the
to go into overtime
and regulation. And I thought he played solid one-on-one, but it opens up a whole different can of worms because Wembanyama, they'll just start running pick and rolls with Wembanyama, and now these guards, the Castles, the Harpers, and Fox, hopefully he's back, can just get downhill and there's no rim protection because I said Hartenstein just can't play in this series.
12 minutes, man.
Especially he can't play alongside Chet Holmgren because now there's even more lack of spacing on a team that already is struggling from the three-point line. So I wonder if they're going to toy with a little bit to see if they can prevent a Wembanyama type of game like this, but it's basically pick your poison. It's going to be Wemby versus the Smalls, or it's going to be Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper get into the basket, and them boys can do that. Mike said in his text this morning, let me make sure I give my boy his credit. He said, hold it down for me today. Just mention Dylan Harper moving chest specifically for me. And some of that is Dylan Harper putting his shoulder into the big fella and get into the basket time and time again. So
Chet is just he's too talented of an offensive player. Some of these other guys, his size, his frame, and in his position, I can understand if they had these games. But I think that he's showing us the ability to catch and shoot, one dribble pull-up, isolation, turnaround jump shots, tip dunks, rolling, lobs. I just think he's too talented of an offensive player, especially in a situation where J-Dub and Shai ain't having like these miraculous games. And I just think it puts more pressure on them. You leave your MVP out there to just hang and dry when like he needs somebody to alleviate something. And then same thing with J-Dub. This is J-Dub's first game back in a while off of a hamstring injury. They need you to be a presence, and you're paid to be one of those guys. as much as you give defensively. And I just think that for him to not be guarded by Wemby, and for them to not be a bigger size team, because the drop-off is Wemby. I mean, they have some size at the guard position because Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle was 6'4", 6'5". But other than that, I mean, Champagnie is like their power forward, or Vassell. Those guys give up size to Chet. So he's got to find a way to offensively have some chances. I'm not even asking him to average 30 or do anything that he's not done, but I am demanding for him to shoot the basketball and try to force the issue if the San Antonio Spurs are going to continue to have this type of success against Shai, and just lock in on him defensively. Because, yeah, man, they need something.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.